Hey, Houston, this
Coming to you live from the Picket Studios in Houston, Texas, this is the Realty Ruckus. If you are in any way, shape, or form involved in the real estate industry, this is the show for you. And now, your host, Alan Hernandez.
Welcome to the Realty Ruckus out of the Picket Realty Studios. I am your host, Alan Hernandez. Sitting next to me, David Bonilla, your producer, along with Jabron Hernandez. And we are here to make sure that your real estate business is growing right alongside with us. Don't forget that you can drop all your questions, comments, concerns below. We love to hear from you guys. We want to talk to you throughout the show. And of course, if you like what you're hearing, make sure you hit the like button, the love button, the angry button. If it makes you angry, we're okay with that too. And of course, the share button, because now with Facebook's new rules, it's a lot more difficult to get the show out there to our audience.
That's right.
So we appreciate all of you guys who are already out there sharing it. And if you're not, hey, throw us a bone, share it with anyone that you think can benefit from hearing the show. So I want to talk a little bit about this new cryptocurrency that has come up recently.
Yes.
Oh, Jays, you're going to talk about cryptocurrency?
Okay, I actually don't want to talk a whole lot about it because here's the thing. I have friends who have invested their arses off.
You got friends in low places?
Very low places.
They're hurting now, huh?
And I actually went through a few of them in my feed who were like, hey, Alan, sending me like private messages. Dude, you gotta jump on this new cryptocurrency. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna make so much money and we're gonna do great. And this happened like literally in like the last 2 months, right?
You know what's hilarious? I showed David this the other day though. But I said, look, no offense, but when the dumbest person that I know
is calling you for investment advice?
Yeah, is saying
with investment
that
advice?
there's absolutely no way that crypto is not going to skyrocket. I was like, that's the time to get out. And I pulled up the post on Facebook. I'm not going to say who it is. I don't want to insult them.
Say it.
I showed David, and then like this person literally, they put, I have no idea how any of this works. I just started learning. And then 2 posts later, they're like, yeah, I've looked in and I've done a lot of research, and there's no way it's not going to skyrocket. I was like, oh gosh, this is bad. This is bad.
So I think the people that got in about a month or two ago are now feeling the effects.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Anyone who got in to Bitcoin or any of them, I mean, they've all just tanked over the last 2 months.
Yeah.
But if you got into Bitcoin anywhere over 9,000, you're just praying right now that it somehow will go back up.
Please.
Yeah. Well, that's just what's so funny about crypto, though, is that the only reason it can go up is if more people choose to put money into it.
So is that why people keep texting me?
Dude, they're pumping. They're like, everyone buy this because I got it really cheap and I need to increase the value of it.
Well, for all you crypto advocates out there, we got a new coin for you to invest in. It's actually called Property Coin, and it's this startup based out of LA called Aperture. And what they're doing is they actually started their own coin that's backed by the Ethereum platform, which me and BB have kind of gone through at length here on the show. I know you're like Ethereum. I'm out.
This is the first time I've ever even heard of this. All right, I don't even know what any of this means. All I know is these guys are geniuses because now they figured out a way to raise private money.
To
buy investment properties.
That's exactly what they're doing. So basically, what they're doing what's called an initial coin offering, and they're going to be selling $50 million worth of the coin. And what they're going to do is turn around with those proceeds and invest it in real estate across different markets in the U.S. As those investments go up in value, so does your coin.
every once in a while when I hear something like that, it does kind of tick me off because that's really a good idea. I'm like, wow, why did I think of that?
This is a complete violation of SEC rules.
That's what I was going to say. They're under SEC scrutiny, but...
So that's what I was going to say. How is that not... Is it not applicable because it's a crypto coin?
Yeah, this is stupid, man, because now what has happened is people have figured out how to create investment vehicles through cryptocurrency that are not under SEC scrutiny.
Yes, exactly.
Because there's no law yet.
There's no regulation on ICOs. They're not businesses. They're not investments. They're considered an asset right now. It's something that you buy.
Yeah. Wow.
This is crazy. To me, all this is saying, put your money here. We're going to invest it. This is like investing in a fund with having no SEC scrutiny.
Yeah, exactly.
This is so dangerous.
It is very risky, and of course, with a lot of risk, there could be a bunch of upside. But then on the other side, like many of our friends have found out lately, with Bitcoin, there's also a huge downside.
Absolutely. And there are people that have made a ton of money investing in this, right? Like one or two?
So somebody commented on here over Property Coin. They said, I'm still waiting for my Kodak cryptocurrency investment from a few weeks ago to not keep losing money. So I may have to sit this one out.
I mean, it baffles me because there are still people. I mean, I'll scroll through my Facebook feed and they're
if we started our own. I wonder if we started our own coin, how many people would buy here in Houston?
We totally should.
I think we could. I think we could get some people to buy.
Call it the White Picket coin and just see how many of them we can sell, and then what are we going to do with the money?
Invest in real estate.
Invest it in.
Raise some private funds.
These guys we're just stealing their idea.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Here's what's crazy to me. People are investing in this. And just a few weeks ago, this was the exact same thing that was happening before. Those loan agreements that they do where I'm going to lend some money and then I'm going to have a return back on my crypto. And then all of those went belly up because all they are is Ponzi schemes.
Yeah.
This is just a new Ponzi scheme using the word real estate because they know that real estate is something people trust.
And actually, the Ponzi schemes kind of started climbing, right? You started hearing of different types of Ponzi schemes coming up with using the crypto coin, where people would kind of put them all together.
Yeah, and then they would say, we're going to give you these huge returns, 1,000% returns. And then one day they went belly up and everyone lost their money. Hundreds of millions of dollars overnight.
And this all has to do with having unrealistic expectations from the beginning and people not really having enough education on what they're really putting their money into or what they can expect to get out of it. So one of the things that we want to discuss with you today, actually the main thing that we want to discuss with our audience today, is having clients with unrealistic expectations, what those expectations typically are.
What, you guys have those?
And how you can handle them professionally. So you're on the Realty Ruckus. When we get back, we'll cover that topic. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where if you chat with us during the show, we can answer your questions live on the air. Now, Alan made this amazing segue
Did you like
from
that?
cryptocurrency into expectations.
How did you ever do it?
I'm like blown away right now. Like that might be the best segue we've ever had on the show.
Make sure you mark this one that way. Put a little star.
Yeah, I'm like, anytime that you ask me about a segue, I'm going to go back to season 2, episode 5, and listen to that segue again because it was fantastic.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys very much. For those of you that are just joining us, we just got done talking a little bit about cryptocurrency, what's happening, all the people that invested, some of them that made money, a lot of them recently that didn't make any money.
Most of them.
And the most amazing segue on how it has to start with having unrealistic expectations on what your investments really are, or what your exit strategy is, or anything really that you end up doing. And when you correlate that and tie it into real estate, and the real estate that we practice here at White Picket Realty, helping buyers, helping sellers, helping people invest in real estate, we run across some unrealistic expectations every once in a while that seem to just keep coming up, and just, you know, for all the new agents out there, or all the people who are still running into them, here's a quick list to help you get through them. So number 1, let's start with the people that you meet with and tell you that their house is worth one price, and in the back of your head you're like, man, you got to be smoking something
good, huh?
And if it's that good, you better pass it down.
Pass it on over, man.
Man, I have felt that way before. I'll go out, I'll talk with the seller, and they'll tell you, you know, I'm very realistic. I know that my house needs some work.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not trying to make a killing here, but I'm not trying to give it away either. That's usually my first sign. When I hear those words, I'm like, oh geez, this is gonna be incredibly overpriced.
That's fucking
I'm
hilarious.
not trying to make a killing here, but I'm not trying to give it away either. Okay.
So those people are really, really funny because, like, for example, we just met with a lady, Brandon and I, and Brandon is going through training right now to understand how to go through these meetings. So he comes out with me, and he's sitting there, and I just see him across the table, and you know, every time this lady's talking, he's like giving me this like smirk. So I'm having a hard time not laughing. But the reason why that's happening,
worst wingman ever.
Yeah, seriously. We're across the table from this client, and I'm like, so tell me a little bit about what you expect to sell this property for. And she's like, well, you know, on the other side of town, this house sold for over $2 million. And I'm like, all right.
Like Timbuktu side of town?
Yeah, like completely different side of town. Sold for $2 million. So I think this one's worth at least like 1.5. And we're looking at the comparables, and we're like, at best, you're like 300 to 400.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And
it's
so,
like $2 million.
Exactly. And so, okay, so we just, you know, instead of arguing with her.
She thought she was giving people a deal with that 1.5.
I'm telling you, instead of arguing with her,
I'm going to give you a real good deal.
You know, the only thing we could do is find out where she got that information from. And we in the midst of that conversation, we came to the conclusion that she had just literally picked that number out of thin air, and she was completely sold on the fact that that was the right number for that property, just based on her own experience in real estate, which had to do with another property in a completely different part of town.
So, I mean, to me, you know, it would seem like there's no way you can manage those expectations.
Well, see, and that's the thing. And that's why I wanted to bring this up today.
Yeah.
Because there is the agent, all right? And I'm not saying it's you out there, but I'm saying they exist.
But I'm saying it might be you.
There is the agent that would have said, you know what, I'll list it for you at those $2 million. Why? Because it's $2 million.
Not $2 million, $1.5.
$1.5 or whatever the heck she was
It's a
asking.
steal. It's a bargain. Of course,
according to her, it was a great deal. But you know, that's the thing. That agent hears $1.5 million. They're thinking, oh, I'm gonna have a $1.5 million listing. Here we go.
Yes.
Let's just knock it out on MLS.
Why not? It's great. I'll put a $1.5 million listing under my name. People think that I'm amazing.
Maybe it'll sell. Maybe I'll get lucky and somebody will buy it. Maybe she's right. Maybe she's onto something here. You know, and so what ends up happening is you end up spinning your wheels. You end up, you know, spending time, spending money, and just because you may be the agent that just throws a property on MLS doesn't mean you didn't spend time or money. You spent both.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Both, right?
And not only that, but you start to tarnish your image because a smart seller, a real $2 million seller with a real $2 million house, they're gonna look up what listings you have, what closings you've had. They're gonna look at your resume. That's your resume, and they're gonna pull that up and they're gonna go, you've got this house listed at $1.5 million that it's only worth probably $500,000 at best. Yeah. It's been on the market now for 365 days, an entire year. why do you still have that there if you're such a great agent?
And that was the greatest part about it. This client was like, well, I'm going to need a whole entire list of recent referrals, all of your past, clients. I'm going to need to call them all. And I'm thinking, lady, I can't even be your realtor. I mean.
So you dropped that one.
You should have handed her instead of referrals a list of other realtors.
Here's what I'm finding, and here's what I've found over the years. If a person is not motivated to sell, if there's no real motivation, is there any real reason for you to try to help them?
Hell
right?
No.
The answer is no.
Because you're not really helping them.
You're not helping them, and they're not helping you.
No.
And so now you're battling them. And so a lot of times these clients, they end up getting into this whole thing where they're going to just interview as many agents as possible until they find one that tells them exactly what they want to hear. And eventually they find that person. Right, and so the best way to really tackle that is to let them know that that's what's going to happen. Hey, look, someone's going to come in here and they're going to tell you that you can do whatever you want. Yeah. And they're going to put it up on the market, and they may spend some money on marketing it. Heck, who knows? Or they may just throw it up on MLS and just pray and hope that somebody is crazy enough to come submit an offer and buy this.
Yep.
But the likely chance is they're going to fail, and then you're going to have to call me. And I'm going to come in here and save it, and I'm going to make this thing right. But until then, the real reason why you're bringing me here is not because you need me to prove to you that this house is worth 1.5 or 2 million or not. It's because you need a badass marketer, someone who can actually bring clients to the table. So the way that we overcame this one is we said, if you're looking for someone to help you market it, we can't list it unless you bring a feasibility study or unless you bring an actual appraiser. It's a commercial property. And they tell us what the property could be worth, because she swore that there's gold there.
She wasn't going to be swayed unless, and even then with a professional opinion she might not be swayed.
So here's what's funny. So then we said, would that work for you? And she goes, well, no, because they don't know anything. And I'm like, all right.
Oh God.
I'm like, all right.
They don't know anything.
That's as far as you can go with a client like that. But the point is, you run into them. There is a way to overcome them, and if they're still stuck, and if there's no motivation, you're better off not trying,
letting it go
like that, letting it go. The other thing, number 2, shorter than average days on market. So we run into this all the time. You meet with someone and they say, I need this property sold in the next 30 days.
Yes.
And they
want 20% over market in 30 days also.
Yeah. And you're looking at it and you're like, this house just flooded and you need this thing sold in 30 days.
And there's no walls.
At top market value, and there's no walls.
And there's mold everywhere. What's going on here? And they're like, well, can't one of your investors pay me full market value for it and then rehab it?
And you can go into the numbers on that. Well, this is what investors is going to pay for, blah, 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 blah. But their expectations are set from their own from their own Zillow searches that they've done. They've already at that point done everything that they could to find out what they think the property is worth. So it's very difficult for you to sit there and change their mind. And when you try to play that game, you hardly ever win.
Yep. Why do these people get in their head that their house can just fly off the market? I mean, are they seeing other houses in their neighborhood, or where do they get those expectations from?
I'll tell you one. I had a guy one time tell me that he thought his house was worth about approximately $100,000 more than market value, because he had pecan trees on his yard.
Yeah, I got that one time from somebody who told me. I was like, what made you think that your house is so much more valuable? And he said, you don't understand. I've got 7 mature oak trees, and those are worth about $50,000 each. So that brings my value up $350, and that's not even including the house. And I was thinking, this whole lot with your house and everything is only worth like $150. I don't know where you're getting these numbers from, but he was convinced that those trees brought that much more value.
Absolutely. So you get that. You get the, hey, I need this done in 30 days, top market
craziness,
value.
Yeah.
Then or what happens when they're unrealistic about the expectations? I recently had a client who we got a full price offer. It was being marketed above what the market really was, because he went above and beyond on the renovations. And then the buyer comes in and says, hey, I want it, but I need the washer and dryer, or something like that, like the fridge.
Yeah.
And the client refused to negotiate that, and now it's been sitting on the market another 2 months. And so you start bouncing that, and you're like, you know, you kind of cost yourself this time frame. What are some of the things that we could have done from the beginning to offset that? So that's the conversation here. The other thing is not paying closing costs. Number 4, everyone thinks they're going to go in and not pay any closing costs.
Real quick, Manuel said, because I asked, you know, our audience, what are the most unrealistic client expectations you've had? And Manuel, the manager of our Lake Houston office, he said, I had one. Threatened to take 2 20-foot palm trees if he didn't get $15,000 for each tree. Wow.
I believe it, man. I believe it.
Oh, recently my wife, she had an inspection done on a house for one of her buyers, and the inspector came back saying, like, basically the shower tub area was leaking into the closets. It was in the master bedroom. Well, the seller said, well, you know, that's not the case. It's just missing some grout. That's all that's going on. Well, come to find out, the entire shower had been remodeled, had been completely done wrong. No backing, no backing.
Water was in the back.
I just talked about that. I know somebody's house that had no hardy back or anything. It was just like glued to the studs.
The tile glued to the studs.
It was literally nothing preventing the water from going anywhere. But it was just a little bit of grout.
Yeah,
just a little bit of grout.
Just a little grout. No big deal. Just put a little bit on there. So
hey, no. The simple solution is always just put some caulking.
Yeah. That's the easy.
That's basically what they propose.
The investor-friendly fix, as I hear it's called. All right. So, and then last but not least, I want all of this done, and then I want you to only charge me 1%.
Yep.
Right? Does that come across
all the time
the table? And we hear this from our agents here at the office. Hey, I got this client. They want this. They want that. And you're like, oh man, why are you dealing with this person? Oh, and they want it at 1%, or they want some flat fee, you know, $150 listing service. And you're like, dude, you know, you're just basically working for free or at negative.
Well, we're coming to the end of this segment, but how about on the flip side, instead of traditional clients, investor clients?
Investor clients are really funny because the thing that they want is what we call the unicorn deal.
Yep.
Everyone
wants it.
They read some blog posts and now they can do it too.
I love it when an investor client calls me and says, I am going to buy everything you can find me at 60 cents on the dollar, including repairs. And I'm like, so am I. Thanks for calling. Bye. Anyway, we have to take a quick commercial break. When we get back, we'll continue the segment. Stay tuned. You're on the Realty Ruckus.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where if you chat with us during the show, we can answer your questions live on the air. Now, it's been a really fun show today.
Yeah,
these little 30-minute shows, I like them so much because I feel like they're just all fun, the whole thing.
They're action-packed.
Yeah. There's no down. There's no dips. It's just
get
constant.
Straight to the point. So we started talking about cryptocurrency, the people that got in, how a lot of people lost a bunch of money.
Oh, yeah.
How there's...
Dude, people were pulling second, third mortgages on their houses, and they were like, "I'm gonna put it all into crypto because there's no way this thing's not gonna skyrocket."
And then we made a connection on how cryptocurrency and the people losing money are connected in the way that the fact that they have the improper expectations. And then we talked a little bit about seller expectations, how they want everything for absolutely nothing, top market value, sold in 30 days or less. And then we got a little bit into buyers, and we said, well, an investor buyer is always looking for that unicorn deal, and you know, it's going to be so difficult to find that you have to actually figure out if you want to help that buyer or not, you know, and why would you sell it if you could find a way to keep that deal. All right. And then the other thing is the buyers that want the perfect home at the perfect price.
Yep.
And it's like they're approved for like $200,000, but they want, you know, a 6-bedroom, 5-bathroom house, you know, and you know, 4,000 square feet, and you're like, dude, you know, like maybe if we make it out of paper or something, but
a paper mache house, a paper mache house,
you know, but and then
of cards,
and I see some of our
literally a house of cards.
I don't know if there's still agents out there that are driving clients. I don't know if that exists still.
What do you mean, like picking them up and driving them?
Picking them up and driving them around?
For sure. I'm telling you, my friend just bought a house less than a year ago, and his realtor showed up, picked them up, and you know what's funny?
It was a white Lexus.
It was a black Lexus.
Oh,
black
so
Lexus
close.
SUV. That's why I was like, Alan's gonna love this. It was a black Lexus SUV.
Yep.
And here's the funniest part. She had her like 6-year-old daughter in the back, like constantly screaming and complaining and kicking. Yeah.
Can you imagine?
So yes, it still happens, and it's
mess.
a miserable experience.
Yeah. So look, there's no doubt about it. Our clients have unrealistic expectations from the beginning.
That's true.
They watch HGTV and they think they're going to make a ton of money, or they watch any of those TV shows and they think they're going to find the perfect house at the perfect price.
Oh man, you know which one I love the most? I love it when they watch a lot of like homes on homes, and then they walk in and start pointing and criticizing things. They're like, that window over there should have caulking around the left-hand side.
Yeah. All
and
of a sudden,
that stud over there.
Experts.
Yeah, exactly.
They're experts in construction. I love that. But what are some of the things? Let's give at least everyone at least 2 to 3 tips that they can do from the beginning to keep these things from blowing up at the end, because that's generally what happens. You don't take care of the unrealistic expectations at the beginning. They come up during the middle of the transaction, and then you never get to the end because you avoided those. You decided not to actually tackle them in that first stage of that client connection that you were making.
Well, and I think that's the biggest thing is go ahead and tackle it up front.
Yeah.
Just address it. You're not going to smooth someone into that. That's one of those things you need to just go ahead, address up front, try to make it work from the beginning. If you can't make it work, be okay with walking away.
Yeah.
Because you are going to save yourself so much time, so many headaches, and probably a lot of money in the process that you're not going to lose on that unrealistic client.
Absolutely. And I think that really hits everything on the head, because if you tackle it right then and there, you know that if it comes up again, you can always go back and say, hey, we discussed this originally. We've had this conversation. And I love when you're dealing with someone like that, I love to say that we've had a conversation, but I always want to follow it up with an email. So like, for example, every once in a while, if I take a listing and I have a buyer that says, hey, I decided last minute that I'm going to list it at 50 grand higher, I may say, you know what, that's totally up to you, because the last thing you want to do is argue with a client, right? You already have everything set up, ready to move forward. Last thing you want to do is say, no, I'm not going to do it. You know, you do this or else. No. And so what you want to do is say, we can totally try this, but this is how it's going to affect you.
Yeah.
This is your choice to do this choice A. This is the results that you're going to get, or you can try choice B, which is the other option. And these are the results that you can expect based on your needs and requirements. And then you say, you know what? I'll leave it in your hands. It's totally up to you. And a lot of times they just come back and say, you know what? Let's just do it your way.
Yep.
So anyway, all right, let's move on because we're almost out of time. We have a couple of events to talk about.
That's right. We're getting down there.
Right up against the wall on events that we have coming up. Make sure that you guys put these on your calendar as well. What do we have coming up?
So first off, I got to handle a little bro code. Guys, if you've forgotten, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. I'm giving you your fair early warning. Don't forget to go out and get your woman some flowers or something. I've already warned you.
I actually had this conversation. And I was told, whatever you do, this is like the red alert moment, guys. Don't buy that freaking teddy bear that's holding a heart. Apparently, women hate those. Like, that is the absolute worst thing that you can get a woman.
What the heck do you do with those once you have like 20 or 30 of them?
I don't know. You just have
a closet full animals.
Of them.
Yeah.
That's exactly why I hate stuffed animals. My mom had a freaking closet full of them, and it was my closet.
I thought that he was going to actually go bro code on this and say, hey, don't let your girl talk you into not celebrating this, because all of them are always like,
mistake,
All of
too.
them are always like, hey, you know what? I don't really care about Valentine's Day.
I don't really care.
And then our dumbasses are like, you know what, man, you're really cool.
Says
I don't
doesn't
really
care.
care about Valentine's Day either. It's just another day for me, you know?
And then comes February 15th.
And then you are in the dog house, man. And you don't understand why everyone's so pissed around you or what's going on, but you know you just forgot to buy that damn teddy bear with the heart in it. Yeah.
Don't get that. Apparently, women love two things. Chocolate,
yes,
and
chocolate.
flowers.
Oh, I thought it was wine.
And
So
you can't go. Maybe
chocolate,
that's number 3 there.
Flowers and what else?
And
wine.
And wine. Boom. We just set everybody up for a successful.
Everyone
Valentine's
is
Day
now
right
will now be successful.
Don't say that we didn't tell this to you on the Realty Ruckus. All right, what else do we have for them?
Bringing you all the pertinent information you need for your real estate business. Anyways, real estate related networking event next week, the 21st. We like to give a shout out to our friends Jet Lending and Renters Warehouse. They're having their big happy hour at the Redneck Country Club. That's 5:30 to 8:30 on the 21st. And then the following night, Houston Breakthrough Realtors is actually hosting a new agent happy hour down in Pub Fiction from 4 to 7 p.m. All new agents and those looking to get licensed who are currently enrolled in classes are welcome to come on out. So we'll see you guys there.
That's going to be a really cool event because it's a networking hour, and you get a chance to find out what Breakthrough Agents it's all about. And Breakthrough Agents is an organization that is there to help you establish and get your career up and running and in a path that's actually going to make you successful.
That's right. That's right. So I hope to see a lot of new faces out there. And then going into March, March 5th, actually, we have our big Team WPR Summit. It's going to be hosted at Valero Title in the Galleria. Again, we love being hosted by those guys. Such great facilities. For any agents that want to have a special invite, reach out to me, David at White Picket Realty, or reach out to your favorite White Picket team member for a special invite. We do love inviting realtors or prospective realtors to the summit so they can check out a little bit of our company culture.
It's just a great way to see what the company is all about, why we're growing so fast. You get a chance to ask the questions and see all of the amazing plans that we have coming up.
Yeah, and finally, last 2 events that White Picket's going to be involved in March, and we're hosting our first real estate rally with Jet Lending at St. Arnold Brewing Company from 6 to 9 p.m. That's March 13th, 6 to 9 p.m. This is one of the biggest real estate networking happy hours in Houston with over 350 plus real estate industry professionals in attendance.
Shut it down last time.
Yes, we did. That's right.
The fire marshal was like, no, White Picket, you guys are too crazy.
Yep, and I love that. I love that. When we get those news, I'm like, yes. All right, so make sure you put that one on your calendar. That's going to be a really good event.
And then last one, I just want to go ahead and announce this one. On the 22nd of March, we're having digital marketing for realtors. It's going to be White Picket's first major workshop of the year.
Did you say the 22nd?
The 22nd.
Oh, yeah. That's yours truly's birthday, too.
Yeah.
So we're going to be
March
partying that day.
So we're going to be in a festive mood that day.
Okay.
So we're not only are we going to be teaching everyone
happy day.
Everyone about digital
I don't know
marketing.
what that means. Does it mean you're going to be sloshing your presentation?
We're going to be extra happy that day, for sure. So make sure you come out and see that.
Extra good presentation on deck. That's it for me, guys. Hope to see you at some of these events.
Absolutely. Thank you guys again for joining us on today's show. Don't forget that we're on every Tuesday and Thursday from 1:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Make sure that you share this with all of your friends. Give us your likes, your thumbs up, your hearts.
Give us your thumbs.
Give us your thumbs.
Give us your thumbs,
whatever.
too. You don't need those.
Just give us whatever.
We'll take it. We'll take it, damn it.
Don't forget to keep up your ruckus, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.
This has been the Realty Ruckus. Make sure and join us every Tuesday and Friday for new episodes. Find us on YouTube and Facebook for replays of previous episodes. And as always, keep elevating yourself and keep up your ruckus. Thanks for listening. Realty Ruckus has been brought to you by Smart Pig Media Productions.